Fallout has plenty of absurd characters, from giant mutated lizards to giant commie-hating robots to Marcy being Marcy. But recently, one, let's say, gentleman has been earning a highlight in the series for such a title. He is a doctor, a scientist, a cam dealer, a Snakeoil Salesman. He is the Chicken Lover. And I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this, so can you beat Fallout New Vegas as the Snakeoil Salesman? A tickle to the brain and a weird dream later in the courier now believes to be one of the most iconic resourceful scumbags that ever disgraced the 23rd century. The stats we'll be working with are the ones that Fallout Shelter gave us, which are 8 in Charisma and Intelligence, 6 Luck, 5 Perception and Endurance, and 4 in both Strength and Agility.
Look at that. Maybe them bullets done your brain some good.
The tagged skills pretty much pick themselves in barter, medicine, and speech. As for the traits, I've decided to go with Logan's Loophole and Skilled. The first question I had to Doc Mitchell was if he had any chickens. He doesn't. In fact, he told me the true chickens are the people we get to screw along the way. He, didn't say it with those words, but
I know what it's like having something taken from you.
we all know what that meant. The first step was to take advantage of the good doctor's kindness and to take everything we can think of a use for. And the second is to do the exact same thing to the town. For once, the briefcase under the bed in that one home had something useful, and bonus points for it also being extremely fitting. Sexy sleepwear. I then took care of the critters in the schoolhouse, hacked the terminal to get that sweet stealth boy, and went on to get the rest of the goodies. The weapon repair kit, magazines, ammo, 8 items, fission batteries, but you name it, I got it. Chat then bought my garbage for over 700 cops, and I made my way through the Yangtze Memorial, got some more freebies, and even found an early plasma pistol that I won't use. It just doesn't fit. But I can sell it anyways. We went on to our first stop. Sloan. Or should I say, Snuffles! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna touch Snuffles inappropriately. On a more positive note, and sexual deviance aside, she's no longer limping from her leg. I disassembled the town's broken generator for parts, found the 2 trunks with free caps for the taking, and got me a star cap for good luck. Chomps then warns us about the death claws to the north, so I repaid his advice with telling him that if he sees Snuffles limping, it's no longer due to her leg.
Thanks.
Yeah, blame Bethesda. I passed through Neil's shack and make my way towards the rock that lets me skip the death claws, cause the most important thing right now is to get a hat worthy of a son of a bitch. I did get the NCR Ranger Safehouse map marker for later, passed by Cassidy Caravan Wreckage, and also got Camp McCarran's Preston on my map, and then kept on going until I hit the Gun Runners, where once again I made use of my bartering skills. Then, as I was trying to make it daytime for better lighting, who shows up? If not the most murdered NPC in the whole game, Malcolm Holmes. Well, considering the nature of this run, I cannot afford to have witnesses. Fortunately for me, the Chicken Lover has a shotgun. And I know he refrained from using it in the TV show, not because he's a pacifist, mind you. He how can I put it, found some hope. So, with a shotgun on my hand and the drive to keep my escapades a secret, Malcolm Holmes has passed away. And in Freeside, we get to meet Rotface.
Caught a rumor the other day that some of the clientele over at the Wrangler have been making some rather strange requests.
So, Rotface has exactly 30 tips for us, but we don't need all of them, just 11. That's it. After the 11th one, you can leave the area, and when you come back...
Ah, my favorite customer. Got a cap for me?
He's got a hat, and that's not just any hat. That is... Eulogy Jones hat. Also, his tips now cost 10 caps instead of 1, and the Mojave ain't big enough for bastards greedier than me. So I thought about it, looked very careful at the poster I have in my bedroom, apologized, and pulled an inverted Kurt Cobain on him. and we're finally looking the part. Now, as you can imagine, I can't just go around wearing a hat, bartering and passing medicine checks. There's a reason why I write the intros the way I do, so let's have some fun that would be right on point for a courier that genuinely believes to have become the Snakeoil Salesman from the TV show. First things first, I want that kid's gun. Not that we'll use it, it's simply because that dummy introduces himself by saying it cost him 1,000,000 caps. And we can convince him that 20 is a lot more than that. Then, 2 weakling petty thugs try to ambush me. One has a pull cue and the other nothing. Meanwhile, shotgun, so yeah. Level 2 comes around, I put the points into speech and go with the Swift Learner perk.
Corny, the Atomic Wrangler has you covered.
Well, I know where I'm going next. In the Atomic Wrangler, James Garrett has a job for us. We're tasked with recruiting 3 escorts, a smooth talker, a cowboy ghoul, and a sex bot. On my way to the strip, we meet Old Ben, who tells us about all the jobs he had, including...
Escort just sounds better than man whore.
Okay, found the first one. The Securitrons at the gate tell me that the strip doesn't allow brokies inside. And then they show me how they keep them at bay. I keep looking through Freeside, and in the old Mormon fort I find a cowboy ghoul. The mere argument of being loved for what you are paired with booze convinced her. 2 down, 1 to go, and as James advised, we should ask Mick from Mick and Ralph's for the 3rd, so let's go.
Are you some kind of machine fetishist or something?
No, it's for a friend. He works in another store. Mick then directs us to Cerulean Robotics and offers to code a holotape to change the subroutines of a certain Protectron. He was judging me a minute ago, and now he's coding for free. Vegas truly is the land of opportunity. A day later, and he's done.
Pimpin' ain't easy, huh?
I knew it. And at least he's honest. In Cerulean Robotics, I take care of the rats. And maybe because I had the holotape, I didn't need to hack the computer. I didn't know that was a thing. Anyways, I uploaded the programming routine, and here comes...
Fully integrated security technotronic officer.
Fisto!
Please assume the position.
Well, I suppose that if there's a courier that would be into it, it's gotta be this one, so have at it. Now, back to that terminal. I even wrote down where the locked locker, which is on the other end of Fisto's pod, and the key that's on a skeleton near the only television in the building. Since I had this planned, well, might as well show you. Anyways, back to James, who obviously has some funny lines. First, regarding Beatrix.
A she, huh? Well, I guess the customer who made that request can't get everything he wants.
And of course, Fisto.
You did? Ha, damn! I've been looking for one of those for years. For my customers, I mean, I'm not into that kind of shit.
Somehow, I don't feel like the biggest weirdo in Freeside anymore, and that's creeping me out.
It didn't happen to come with an owner's manual, did it? Forget it. Trial and error should do it.
Level 3 came around, and once again I put the points into speech. Sold some more junk to the Vendortron, passed the Securitron cap check, and got into the strip. Victor welcomes us, but we have no interest in Mr. House just yet, because in Gamora, we won't have to resort to traumatizing chickens. They have professionals.
So you followed the call of your desires, all the way to the arms of Joanna. Moi.
Even with the speech points, I still had to pay for it, but honestly, that fits this character perfectly. A disappointed Joanna later, and we meet Billy Knight.
Hey, what about that suit Betty wears? If I had a suit like that, the ladies would be all over me. What? You expect a punchline? The guy pays my salary. It's true!
I got all the free magazines I could and went on to the Ultralux, where Mortimer explains to me that he eats ass with a knife and fork after putting it on a literal oven. I got out of there faster than you could imagine. And then found Michelangelo. He's got an amazing quest for us. I'll be getting a lot of caps and experience, and he gets to be mocked and 5 photographs. Level 4 came around, more points into speech, and I went with the educated perk. In hindsight, I could have put those points into medicine, but the thought didn't occur to me. And well, popping up some mentats did just fine to pass the skill check, and then I kept on being a dick.
What? Are you serious? I am an artist. I need inspiration, not therapy.
And it's now time to get into the tops. Getting close to Benny triggers level 5. I got speech 100 and put the surplus into medicine. A bit too late.
What in the goddamn?
He calls me the presidential, and not everyone knows this.
It would be 41 flavors of stupid to let you get a drop on me.
You can convince him to spare you.
God damn it. I'm actually gonna let you live? What's come over me?
Investigating his bedroom, we find Yes Man, who rants about Benny's whole plan. Soon as he shut up, that brings level 6. And then 7. I put the points into medicine and took the toughness perk. And since we're here, why not visit the Aces Theater? Tommy Tarini says if we can find him. 4 entertainers will get a cut from each, and I do like me a good deal, so I'll keep that in mind. Upon leaving the tops, we find a fine gentleman whose boss is balding to meet us. He gifts me a 2-in-1 passport that's part sugar daddy jewelry and goes on his merry way. And then I see Billy again.
Hey, come on, pal. I'm trying to put on a show here. You're welcome.
I tell him about the job opening in the tops, and he's underselling himself.
Tell him I'll do it for 100 a night. No, 50. No, 20. 10. Just don't rob me. I'll do it.
So I gotta convince him to ask for real money. Not from kindness of my heart, just I want a bigger cut. Back to the Wrangler, and what's better than a goof comedian, too. But Hadrian's under contract, and it's not expensive to buy it. Thing is, James says he's making him quite a lot of money. Okay, cause all it took me was a speech check saying that Hadrian wasn't the right fit for the place. And that was enough for him to release him from his contract, and we got another one down.
Really?
I then fast traveled to Camp McCarran, take a picture of their billboard, and cross the road to do the same thing over at the Sunset Sarsaparilla headquarters bottle sign. And since I'm here, and as a chem dealer of sorts, it's time to hone my craft. Kinda. Well, not kinda, eventually, I'll just start it. No, I passed through Fiend territory, all I had to do was to let the stormtroopers do their thing. No geckos bothered me this time, and we reached Red Rock Canyon, where I got the Khan's turbo and went on to meet Diane. I don't care about Jack, or the full quest for that matter, just the first thing Diane has in store for us, which is to rescue Anders, cause if I do that, I can get a recipe to craft turbo. So I get the quest, go back to the NCR Ranger's safe house, and make my way to the 188 where... No, it can't be. That's not supposed to be here. Seriously, I mean it. This caught me off guard. I had a gag prepared for later, not now. Either way, and quite understandably, the darn chicken was being extremely overprotective. Every time I tried to sneak behind her, she just kept turning on to me. Can't blame her.
I was fucking my chickens.
I still did it though. Then made my way to the El Dorado substation just for the map marker and turned back to go near Boulder City. More specifically, to meet the Lonesome Drifter. He simply won't trust me when I tell him I got a job for him cause I didn't care about his story. So, one unavoidable rant later and he's now convinced we're besties even though I just want my cut. Approaching Boulder City, I see 3 ravens and I cannot have the Institute spy on me. Honestly, didn't even know if that's a thing in New Vegas, but I'm not gonna risk it. I then provoke Lieutenant Kowalski and apologize to him, which leads me to discover something. He will not aggro if I disrespect the monument again. In Novak, the Great Prophet, Nobark tells me about commie ghosts and chupacabras with automatic rifles.
Well, says Nobark, we got a chupacabra with an automatic weapon. He was the meanest, ugliest chupacabra you could imagine. Best I could tell, anyways, since when he come up to me, he was invisible. Walked right past me having an argument with somebody. But I only saw one chupacabra, so I guess the other fella had to be invisible too. Only more invisible than the other one.
I love Nobark. I take a photo of Novak's dinosaur thermometer, and in one of the rooms I find Bruce Isaac, a singer and the last entertainer we need to find for Tommy. And knowing there's another shenanigan I can pull in Novak, I couldn't resist but to do Boone's quest.
God damn it. That's it then. You didn't have any proof.
Speech 55.
That's about all the proof I could hope for, I guess.
He pays me for killing his own best friend, and I go on to Helios 1 to take yet another picture. One of the guards nearly freaks out about never having seen a camera before, and I got to level 8. This time I distributed the points between barter and medicine and chose the second toughness perk. To the south, Aster warns me about Camp Searchlight, and I forgot to take a slight detour. So I used my bartering skills to ask the ferals if they'd be so kind as to buy the grenade launcher from me. They weren't. And right after, I find Anders.
Help me.
I untie him, and funny enough, he thinks it was Jack that sent me over here. Nope, it was Diane.
Probably mostly Jack's idea.
And I kinda wish I could have told him that.
Thanks.
In Cottonwood Cove, one of the fangirls gets extremely jealous that I'm the one getting gifts, but still does their job. Directs me to Lucullus, who I tell to start rowing, and who do we find in Kaiser's tent, if not Benny? He cannot talk though. Under penalty of death, he got a shush. So to Baldy, I go. He tells me about his weird kink of being really into having couriers making the ground shake. And once I've accepted the task, he grants Benny permission to answer to whatever I want to say or ask him.
Why, you little promise breaker!
Upon seeing he is doomed, and quite stoically, he tells me to go along with whatever House would have wanted me to do in the fort, but to bring the chip to Yes Man instead and follow the original plan, you gotta admit. Him doing this whole kind of passing the torch is awesome. Something he won't be able to say about my decision to deal with him. But everything in its due time. On my way to the fort's bunker, I meet Melody. I tell her I'm a friend, she tells me Anthony took her teddy bear. What a meanie. So, as a friend, I go to Anthony and pickpocket Sergeant Teddy. He's a bit chewed up though.
That's okay. I'll fix him. Can I have him now?
And as the bestest of friends, and trusting her repair skills, I grant her 2 Sergeant Teddys. Oh, I'm such a good friend.
I don't want to talk to you. I hate you.
You're welcome, sweetie. In the bunker, I use the platinum chip to access the Securitron vault where Mr. House is salty. Just because I ignore the invitation of being the first person to step foot in the Lucky 38 in centuries. I then had to kindly remind him that if he was truly in a rush, he wouldn't have had me go through a Securitron cap check. So I ask him what fits this courier, odd jobs or an NCR outfit. He agreed. Anyways, I can just make a run for it, thanks to the toughness perks, get to the Securitron operations console, activate the Securitron army, and Stimpack plus turbo my way out of there. Back to Kaiser.
I felt the ground shake.
Oh, he's so happy he rewards me with choosing Benny's fate. Level 9 comes around, all the points go into medicine, and it should be pretty obvious that I'm gonna choose the cosplay option.
Not crucifixion. I could be up there for days with those twisted creeps laughing and pointing.
Not the right attire, not even a wig, there's no beard, and I'm not seeing the nails either, so 2 out of 10. Cause at least the main prop is right. Back to the 188 and hey, she came to me, so I had to. And the chick then invites me on a lunch date, we go through Brim, I take the last photo we need, this time of the Bison Steve, back in Good Springs. I sell the things I've hoarded since I've been to the gun runners, buy some ammo for the shotgun, and visit Doc Mitchell to resupply my Stimpaks. And that's when an idea hit me. Does Jessup have additional dialogue now that I've crucified Benny?
You're supposed to be dead.
He didn't. So I cut a deal for him to let the hostages go and then tell Lieutenant Monroe to betray them. In Sloan, I say hi to Snuffles again, and me and Veronica went on to the Hidden Valley bunker, where I got to realize that she has no real interest in this sexy beast, and only wanted to use me as a Brotherhood employee. I was about to ditch her when she was up to waiting for me in my bedroom, even though I haven't even set foot in the Lucky 38. Okay, go on. I keep making the usual rounds, grab Abilene from Field Shack, and make a bet with George, the boomer that's not part of the boomers. And things didn't go as smooth as I thought. I mean, it was first try, but I nearly died. Even though I was going by the safest path, but eventually I got to meet Raquel, and she wants me to meet Mother Pearl, who goes on about the long 5 years that they've been waiting for a visitor, as if they haven't been bombing anyone who got even remotely close. In Denelli's hangars, I find Mr. Cuddles, and in the schoolhouse, Lindsay.
Hi again. Have you found Mr. Cuddles?
I'm sorry, Lindsay. Mr. Cuddles is dead.
Not Mr. Cuddles.
Yes. Back to Michelangelo, and he gives us over 1,200 caps and nearly 200 experience points. All for 5 pictures. Nice. And oh, for fuck's sake, I forgot to go back to George, and I wasn't finding him, 'cause he's now just ahead. No clue where the rest of him is, I have looked. Anyways, back to Tommy Torini. He's got 4 new acts, and I've got nearly another 500 caps, plus level 10 came around. I got medicine to 100 and put the rest of the points in barter, and as for the perk, I went with living anatomy. Since we might be an extremely questionable doctor, but we are one nevertheless, you know. And then I went back to Diane. She thanks us for rescuing Anders and gives us the option to choose caps or a turbo recipe. Turbo, please. Another thing I did that didn't make much sense to mention until now was that I took my time in Prim. I was quite curious about the Vicky and Vance story.
Vicky and Vance were this nation's 4th or maybe 5th most infamous celebrity outlaw couple ever. Now, true, Vicky and Vance didn't exactly cut a wide swath of murder and bank robbery across the central U.S. like Bonnie and Clyde did. It was more like a narrow swath of shoplifting, check cashing fraud, and gas pump drive-offs. But crime is crime. They drove reckless, too.
That's just the summary, and the important part is that Vance's 9mm submachine gun was supposed to be in display, but it isn't.
Have you gone loco, partner? I can see the gun with my own 3 photo sensors from where I'm standing right now.
Prim Slim thinks it is, but apparently he got hacked. Anyways, let's go find it. On one shack to the north of the Mojave's map, we have the Wind's hideout.
I'm Pauline, of Sammy and Pauline, the Wasteland's most dangerous and notorious criminal couple.
Why did I never heard of you?
We ain't never heard of you either, so the not being impressed is mutual.
That's a great comeback, I'll give you that. Now let's just take a listen to these 2 geniuses' plan.
Sammy and me got our hands on a powerful weapon not too long ago. Vance's gun. That gun's our shot at the big time. We're gonna sneak it in on the strip and rob one of the casinos. Maybe all of them.
Yeah, however, we can encourage them.
Really? You think so? We've only got the 1 gun and there's 2 of us. And we've never done anything like this before. We've never been on the strip either. Tell Sammy to give you the gun, alright? Just take it.
So, yep, they're not that dumb to actually follow through with it, and we get a free gun. I kept exploring and found Brooks Tumbleweed Ranch.
You want to buy Wind Brahmin? Right here. Where did you come from?
You're crazy.
Crazy with low prices on Wind Brahmin. You buy one.
How much?
All.
All my caps.
They are very good, Wind Brahmin. All caps.
Oh, I can't say no. It's a nightkin. It's one thing to fight thugs. The Snakeoil Salesman would be fucked. Fine, take it. I don't feel like I own anything. We can kick the tumbleweeds around, though.
Careful. Sometimes they escape, and I have to round them up again.
I also tried stealing my money back, but I couldn't. He didn't even care. I tried. Okay, well, time to take Mr. House on that offer and visit the Lucky 38. Victor lets us in, I make a run for it, in the penthouse, use the platinum chip, and access the control room. I take the mummy out of the sarcophagus, realize I'm not called mummy fucker for a reason, and since the option to put it back was not showing up, I give him a quick death. I then go on to tell Yes Man about the news. We go over the Securitron upgrade demonstration for what feels like the 100th time, and I once again tell him I don't care about Kimball. He gives me an overriding chip to install in the Eldorado substation, and since everyone was asleep, I got in and out before they noticed. And once outside, I could just fast travel anywhere. Level 11 came around, I put the points into barter, and made my way to the Matthews Husbandry Farm. Or as this courier would perceive it, heaven. Oh, there's so many chickens! Unfortunately, there's even more mole rats. and they aggro on the chickens. I'm talking dozens of mole rats. The chickens are going down one by one. This is ruthless, man. Come on. A massacre later, and one survived. And it's now so thankful that it cannot stop following me. Goody goody. Another fun thing is that this chick's not like the other chicks. You can have it wear a general's cap or sunglasses. I'm gonna go with the sunglasses. Back to Yes Man, and the Legion is now making their move. The second battle of Hoover Dam's about to begin. And over here the plan is extremely simple. Run! The Centurions are busy with the NCR, so I sprint past them, make my way into the offices. I grab a bucket in memory of the god of Fallout challenges, throw it at the tin cans, and lie to them about Colonel Moore needing backup. With the way cleared, I gave Yes Man control of the dam and went on to pull the switch to activate our Securitron army. On the east side of the dam, I just kept running. The Legion and the NCR were both too busy with each other still. Couple shots and damage, sure, but none was really paying attention to me or to my chicken. So I safely reached the Legate's camp, where I continued not to skip leg day, and then came Linnaeus. I made use of my silver tongue, convinced him that the chickens of the Mojave already have a lover, and that he should covet the ones over Colorado instead, and somehow that worked. I then told Cluck McChick to take off those silly sunglasses. It's time for the General's cap. A flashy entrance later, and here comes General Lee Oliver doing the slowest of walks as he prepares to teach me all of the swear words in the English language. Yes Man shows up with more than a couple buddies. The cigar is a lie. Level 12 came in the worst possible moment, and the General went skinny dipping. Having a companion pushed me inside the Securitron, and so... Can you beat Fallout New Vegas as that chicken lover? Yes, you can. As long as you remember that the true chickens are the people we fucked along the way. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Steve Whittle and to John Walker for their support of the channel. And to you, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I'll see you on the next one. And I hope you have a good one. Bye. Oh, and if you want to be a part of the shoutouts, consider becoming a member of the channel.
And I guess I'll see you around. We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.
Because war never changes.